What's up, my friends? Today we're looking at the Moment Everything Travel Backpack for Creators. Now, just because this backpack is built for creators, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, but not a lot, I wanted to take a different perspective. Does this pack work for the regular everyday traveler, or is it specific for the creator that's carrying a lot of equipment? It's 28 liters, so that's a little bit on the smaller side, but man, I really packed this thing out the same way that I would pack a 32 liter. And there's some really cool surprises in this bag that I think you're gonna like, even if you're not a creator. So let's dive in. Before we dive into the Everything backpack, I do want to quickly thank Bare Bottom Clothing for supporting the channel and this video. I'll talk more about them a little bit later. There are 5 categories that I use to test, rank, and evaluate each bag that I take a look at. Those 5 categories are construction, the materials that it's made of. Second is comfort. How comfortable is the bag to wear and use, especially when we have it packed out for a 3, 4, or even 7-day trip? Third is organization. How well is the space used? How many options are there for you to organize your gear that are built into a bag? Fourth is aesthetics. It's a subjective category, but you might be watching this video because you appreciate my style. And finally, functionality. This is the ease of use and the accessibility. Let's dive into construction first. The exterior material of this bag is a 420D ripstop nylon. A little bit better than just your typical weave in a nylon. I think it looks cool. It feels pretty heavy duty. In fact, a lot of places the nylon feels a little stiff. I'm sure it'll wear in as I use the bag more and more. Also, one of the features of this bag is they talk about it being water resistant. Look at that, that's pretty sick. The zippers are YKK zippers. They're not as smooth as other packs that I've had that have a really nice thick zipper. They also don't have any locking mechanisms on the zippers. The zippers could have been a little bit bigger, and they definitely could have had that locking mechanism. Each zipper pull is a small nylon webbing strap, easy to grab in any case. Also, take a look at this. On the zipper seams, I'm starting to see just a little bit of white. I know I've stressed the zippers out on this bag, and I did that on purpose just to see how it operates, but it's not so full that I think it should be stressing the bag out quite that much. There are a couple waterproof zippers in here, namely for your large packable compartment and your laptop compartment. You've got 3 functional handles on this bag, 2 on each side and then 1 on the top. They are just, again, a nylon webbing strapping, so they're not gonna be that comfortable, but they are very heavy duty. The handles on the sides of the bag lay flat when they're not in use, which I really like. The handle on the top of the bag is a bit more looped, so it's easier to grab. There are no handles on the bottom of the bag. If I'm hurrying to get it out of the overhead compartment, I wanna just have a handle accessible from wherever I can grab the bag. On the back side of the bag, we have S-shaped shoulder straps. Those seams are right on the edge. I'm a fan of the seamless edge on the strap. It wears and feels a little bit more comfortable. There's a little bit of squish to these, but it's pretty typical for what you would expect in a strap like this. The back of the straps and the back of the bag are all lined with that nice breathable nylon. The back and bottom of this bag is surprisingly structured, and I'm gonna talk about that when it comes to comfort in just a second. You also have the luggage pass-through strap here with some subtle branding from Moment. This is your typical nylon webbing. Having this pass-through strap tight to the bag is a really great feature because then it's not flopping all over the place when you do run it through the handle. Now, there is only one direction of pass-through for this bag, and that's vertical. So the bag does need to sit vertically on your luggage. There isn't the possibility or potential to put it on the side like this. You also have a typical nylon sternum strap that is the nylon webbing, and it's semi-static, meaning it has a little bit of give. On the surface, that feels like a great thing. I'm gonna talk about that when we talk about comfort. All the plastic components like the buckles and the strap tighteners, those all feel really solid. So for construction on this bag, because of the zippers, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Since we're already looking at the back side of the backpack, this is the perfect time to talk about comfort. Like I mentioned, the straps are a pretty standard cushion foam. There's also these seams on the sides of the straps. People like Tom Bin are doing this seamless sides of the strap, and that's incredibly comfortable. Sometimes these can wear a little bit, especially on the neck, but you do have the S curve, so it should make room for the neck and not rub up against it. There is a bit of padding on the back side. It's a pretty firm padding, and then you do have this open section that goes down the spine to prevent a lot of sweating. Now, I mentioned the sternum strap, and it's semi-static. If you've watched my other videos, I really pay close attention to the sternum strap because when I have these bags packed completely full, this is a really crucial part to the comfort of wearing it. I really like to cinch down that sternum strap to hold it as solid as possible. So having this semi-static feature where the elastic is behind the webbing and it gives it a little bit give, for me, I don't like it. This is so much strap that I can't cinch down. So what I prefer is that this buckle be both sides cinchable, and I can bring those shoulder straps as close as possible. If you're a little bit bigger than me, for sure, this probably tightens it up enough. When I have this pack on, it feels pretty balanced, and it feels like it keeps the weight over my shoulders or over my hips pretty well. Now, of course, there's not a waistband. It's a smaller size bag, so that makes sense to me, but I do think it could have a waistband to get some more of that weight on my hips. One more thing to talk about when it comes to comfort on this bag. Typically, I like a bag with a little bit of structure. This bag is so structured, especially down here on the bottom. I noticed walking around that this ridge hit me right where my low back goes into my butt, and it was wearing quite a bit. So in the category of comfort, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Now my favorite category, organization. I love this front side pocket. This is like your easy access, but it can hold a whole bunch of things. And as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I always travel with a light sweatshirt accessible at any times because it is so common for me to sit down on the airplane and realize how chilly it is. So this is my bare bottom crew lounge sweatshirt. It's super lightweight. It's like butter soft. And look at the stretch in it. So it's easy to get on and get off on the airplane. I love this thing so much. I'll link it in the description below. I also have my packable Cotopaxi wind jacket for additional warmth. Inside this pocket though, you also have a nice mesh pocket with some organization in it as well. I think it's gonna wear really well, but I love the stretch in it. And this pocket is super sizable. So right now I have my little pouch with all of my charging cords in it, a travel battery, and I could fit so much more in this. The other reason that this is such a cool pocket is I can swing it this direction and it's accessible right here. Next, we have a water bottle holder. This is my 24-ounce Owala. It holds it great. Because this is a bag for creators, they describe this as both a water bottle holder and a tripod holder. The only thing about this being a tripod holder is there needs to be an additional strap up here to hold the top of the tripod. Otherwise, that thing might be flopping. Now, they did a really good job on the depth of this water bottle pocket. The Owala goes almost all the way inside the pocket. Why doesn't every bag company do this? It does have this stretchy material right here with 2 heavy-duty elastic bands to hold this tight, and those can really stretch. So I think this water bottle holder is an absolute win. There's only one of them, but that makes sense because of some of the features and organizational features on the other side. Before we dive into main pocket, I want to look at the laptop pocket. It has the waterproof zippers. When you open it up, it opens quite a bit. So this side goes pretty far down the backpack. This side goes about halfway down the backpack. Here you have 2 electronic pockets. So I talked about carrying my laptop and my iPad Pro. It's pretty rare that I would carry both of those, but what I do carry is my laptop and the Remarkable tablet. So it's nice to be able to separate those. It's padded, and the laptop bag doesn't go to the bottom. When I drop my laptop in, I want it to be protected, but if it goes all the way to the ground, my laptop's gonna drop and hit the ground. And then you have the main pocket that goes down all the way the length of the bag, and there's a decent amount of room. There's 2 main pockets with that same stretchy mesh material. You can pull them open and slide your hand in really nicely. There's also a couple of pen holders or pencil holders available as well, and everything is protected. I think they did a fantastic job in organizing and making really good use of this space. The next thing I want to show you is the hidden pocket of this bag. You just open it up here, and it's an FRID protected pocket, so you can have credit cards or things that are sensitive to being read. You can have it in this pocket, it'll stay protected. The other thing about this too is I can easily access it without setting the bag down, and that's a big deal, especially when I'm in customs line. I don't want to set my crap down. Look how accessible that is. Boom. Here you go, sir. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, there are some safety loops for your zippers to put those in so people can't easily unzip them just on this main pocket here. That brings us to main pocket. The thing I love about main pocket is you can access it two different ways. So you have your typical access, which is a clamshell access. I'm gonna turn the backpack over like this. We'll unzip it. Look at that. Amazing! These pockets are so useful. Toiletries, underwear, papers, whatever you want to put in these. And there's so much room. They are still that sturdy, stretchable mesh material. They both go half the size of the bag. And my friends, I packed this out almost the same way I would pack out a 32 liter. There's not a ton of give in this thing, but it still packs surprisingly well, and I'm guessing that probably has somewhat to do with the structure of the bottom and the back. So got my Cotopaxi toiletry bag, my gravel travel packing cubes. These are the best packing cubes on the market. Extra pair of shoes, my sleeper hold airplane pillow eye mask thing. This thing is a absolute lifesaver. And then my large gravel travel packing cube. Now, on the front side of this, you have this pocket as well. Every square inch of this thing is used for organization. That's my kind of bag. We'll talk about more about this pocket in just a second because there's something cool about it that you may not know yet. One thing I do want to mention, even though this isn't a video for creators, is this. Moment is a modular system. So if you open these hard casings up, you have organization for cameras and lenses and equipment. Now, this bag has these little elastic loops on the inside of it. And each of these hard cases have these cool little metal tabs. You don't even have to be a creator. If you just want a section of the bag that's a little bit more protected, this is such a good option. So once you strap that in, it's now a highly rigid and organized bag. These are all modular with little pockets in them. This one is the 4 liter. I think this one's like 10 liter, but I can't see the tag right now. So you can have this one too, and it takes up about half the space. One last thing for organization. We can also access that pocket from the front side of the bag. And this side of the zipper goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. This one goes halfway down right here. So you could have this zipper up like this, and you can open this. So if you're at the airport or whatever and you need to access this pocket, but you don't want to open the clamshell, like if I wanted to change my shoes or something like that and I have those at the top, it's easy access to be able to do that. So if you can't tell, I got a bit excited in the organizational part of this review. I give the Moment Everything Travel bag a 10 out of 10 in organization. I think they nailed it. All right, number 4, let's talk about aesthetics. I think it's a great looking bag. I love it. It's very plain and simple on the front. The branding is beautiful. It's that black on black. You've got branding here on the front. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I don't love branding that is text. I would much rather have like just a logo somewhere, but that's just me. Tell me in the comments, do you like the branding all over your backpack so that people know, or do you like it to be more subtle? This is still super subtle. I think they did a good job with it. It's sleek and clean, and you do have these angled seams on the front so you can pack it out a little bit better. But then when it's not packed out, they kind of hide away. Some nice little subtle branding on the shoulder strap here. I think it's a great looking bag. I gave it a 9 out of 10 in that category. The last category is functionality. There's not much more to say about this thing. You know every nook and cranny. You know my opinion on it. I think it's an incredible functional bag, with the exception of a little bit of comfort issues, both on the rigidity on the back and the straps. I gave it an 8 out of 10. So my total score for the Moment Everything Travel Backpack 28 liter is 41 out of 50. I think it scored really, really well. I love this pack. I'm so grateful for the people at Moment that let me test it and do this review. They've been awesome to work with, by the way. And if you want the best current price on this backpack or other Moment backpacks, go ahead and use the link in the description below. I hope this video has been helpful for you in deciding whether or not the Moment Everything travel backpack is right for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the flippity.